these trips I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what they mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I gotta change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day, but that don't stop the money making.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Dallas Cowboys. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start.
Here we go.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
We got this.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready. Now the wolf. Set. Rip right.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
That's how we do this.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down. Fields being chased out left. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, That's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. 2 left. Put it 2. Flat. That's the what?
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
On second down, Jacobs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, Fields. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. 4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Carlson is good. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
It's our time. It's our time.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front, so when you talk with GMs or put it...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
to throw on second down. Fields. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Elliott, toss right. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll set up to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Eric Ebron with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. So the first play in the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Off the play fake. Fields. That's complete to John Ross. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 26 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Back to throw. Fields. Wide open receiver complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 37 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Here's Jacobs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Check 43. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Slam, slam, slam.
One more time with Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, Sports. Bring it in.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Fields on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Ready. 53 is the mark. Coach, wait. 6 guard. Check 6 guard. Check.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Fields. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this 1st half. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their...
And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Their mobile, agile quarterback in the final seconds of the 1st half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this 1st half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the 2nd half is now underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They will run again with Coleman, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Boy, shifts past him. Fighting through it. He's got space. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. That'll go down as a 92-yard punt return score. And the Cowboys cut into that lead.
Let's just call that play what it was. Bold, dashing, daring, and a big-time return for a touchdown.
Fielding a punt inside the 10. Most coaches, they frown upon that, don't they?
They really do. I do know some special teams coaches that say, okay, I'll let you go to about the 8, and you're right in that gray area, and he made that play work in a massive way.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Counter play with Jacobs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Blitz coming and down he goes. Jalen Smith came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. On third down, Fields. And he's going to go down again. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56.
They go play action here on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And now off to the races down the right side. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And the lead will swell by one more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go, D. All day, defense.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
On play action, they'll throw. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Let's go now. 56 yards. Check. 53's Mike. Yo.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The Raiders on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Fields. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's Elliott, complete. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Once again, it's Jacobs, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Back to throw. Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Coleman. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
4 down.
And they take a knee. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
We got 4. Watch one.
And they will take a knee here.
The quarterback keeps it. A loss of a yard. Brings up 4th down and goal.
53 is the mic. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up.